Welcome back to the channel Coin Star, where we talk about rare coins that could turn your pocket change into a fortune. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1982 D. Lincoln penny. You might want to check your coin collection or even your old piggy bank because some of these pennies could be worth an absolutely jaw-dropping amount of money, up to $247,580, so grab a seat, smash that like button, and stay tuned because you do not want to miss the details about how one small penny could change your life forever. First, let's talk about the history behind the 1982 D. Lincoln penny. The year 1982 was monumental for the Lincoln cent series. For decades, ever since 1909 when the Lincoln cent was first introduced to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, pennies were made primarily out of copper. But by the early 1980s, the rising cost of copper forced the United States Mint to make a critical decision that in 1982, the Mint transitioned from making pennies with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc to a cheaper alternative, pennies with a core of 99.2% zinc and a thin copper plating, making them significantly lighter. This change was a massive deal because, for the first time in over 70 years, the iconic penny was no longer predominantly copper. However, the transition wasn't instant. Both copper and zinc pennies were minted during the year 1982. To complicate things even more, there were 7 different varieties of the 1982 penny. Some were made with copper, some with zinc, some with a large date font, and others with a small date font. And all of these variations exist both with no mint mark from Philadelphia and with a D mint mark from the Denver Mint. The 1982 D penny we are talking about today was struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the small d under the date. And within these coins, there lies one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered. Here's where it gets incredibly exciting. In 1982, no one expected anything strange. But collectors later discovered that a very small number of 1982 D. Lincoln cents were made with a small date design on a copper planchet. This was supposed to be impossible because by the time the small date dies were used, the mint had switched completely to zinc planchets. Somehow, a handful of copper planchets remained at the Denver Mint and were accidentally struck with the new small date dies. This tiny mistake created one of the greatest modern-day numismatic treasures. Experts believe there are only a few dozen examples known today. The rarity and the massive collector demand have caused auction prices for high-grade examples to skyrocket. One example of the 1982 D small date copper penny sold at auction for an astonishing $18,800. But it gets better. In pristine mint state condition, with perfect surfaces, full red luster, and absolutely no marks, experts believe that a flawless example could easily fetch $247,580 or even more if the right collectors are competing. Imagine that, finding a coin that most people overlook, and it could be worth nearly $250,000. Now you might be wondering, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable 1982 D. Lincoln pennies? Let me guide you step by step. First, you want to check the weight of the penny. A copper penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. A zinc penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. You will need a precise scale that can measure to at least the hundredth of a gram. If you find a 1982 D penny that weighs around 3.11 grams, you might have a copper coin. But you are not done yet. Next, you need to check the date style. In 1982, both large and small date varieties were used. The small date is the rare one. How do you tell the difference? On a small date 1982 D penny, the numbers look more delicate. The 2 in the date curls inward more sharply, and the 8 is more evenly proportioned. On a large date 1982 D penny, the 2 has a more open curve, and the 8 looks slightly lopsided. If you find a 1982 D penny that has a small date and weighs about 3.11 grams, congratulations, you might be holding a coin worth tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's dive into some of the recent market values. A certified MS-64 red 1982 D small date copper penny sold for $18,800. Higher grade examples could command well over $50,000. A theoretical MS-67 plus red 1982 D small date copper penny, if found, could reach $247,580 or even higher. Based on current market enthusiasm and the intense bidding wars, rare coins tend to ignite at major auctions like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers. Collectors today are hungrier than ever for key modern errors and rarities. Combine that with the limited number of these coins available, and the sky is truly the limit for prices. That if you want to try your luck at finding one of these rare coins, here are some tips. Check your old coin jars, especially those stored away for decades. Visit estate sales, flea markets, garage sales, anywhere that people might be selling or getting rid of old coins. Buy rolls of unsearched pennies from coin dealers or online auctions, but be careful, always buy from reputable sellers, and remember, every 1982 penny you find could be worth examining carefully. It only takes one lucky find to change your financial future forever, and that's a wrap for today's deep dive into the fascinating world of the 1982 Lincoln penny. A coin that many people still overlook could literally be hiding in plain sight, worth a staggering $247,580. If you enjoyed this video and you want more incredible coin stories, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a treasure hunting tip. Also, let me know in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin? Do you have any 1982 pennies lying around? I would love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next great discovery could be sitting right in your pocket. If you love rare coins, hidden treasures, and the thrill of finding something valuable in your pocket change, you are in the right place. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins you could ever come across. The 1977 Lincoln Penny USA Liberty coin. Yes, you heard that right. This tiny piece of copper can be worth up to an incredible $39,444 if you are lucky enough to find the right one. So make sure to stick around to the end, because you do not want to miss any detail about how to spot this rare treasure. Hook. Imagine you are checking your old coin jar and you find a regular-looking penny from 1977. You think it is just another coin worth 1 cent. But what if I told you that very penny could be the key to a small fortune? Today we will uncover everything about this 1977 Lincoln penny, from its amazing history to what makes it so rare and valuable, and how you can potentially cash in big time. Section 1. The history of the 1977 Lincoln penny. Let us start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first regular-issue American coin to feature a real person rather than an allegorical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse or front of the coin proudly displays the bust of President Lincoln, while the reverse originally featured 2 stalks of wheat. By 1959, to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the design was updated to show the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This was a powerful tribute and remained the design for decades, including on the 1977 penny. The word liberty is engraved next to Lincoln, a proud reminder of one of the most important values that Lincoln fought to preserve during the American Civil War. The 1977 penny is part of what collectors call the Lincoln Memorial series. These pennies were minted from 1959 all the way up to 2008. While many of these coins are quite common, there are certain factors that can make the 1977 penny incredibly rare and highly desirable among collectors. Section 2. What makes the 1977 penny special? You might be wondering, what makes a simple 1977 penny worth thousands of dollars? The answer lies in a combination of mint errors, condition, rarity, and market demand. First of all, mint errors are mistakes made during the production process at the U.S. Mint. Some 1977 pennies were struck off-center, had double die errors where the design appears doubled, or featured other unique anomalies that drastically increase their value. Secondly, condition plays a huge role. Collectors are always looking for coins in pristine, uncirculated condition. That means no scratches, no dirt, and a strong, sharp strike from the mint. A 1977 penny graded as MS-67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can command sky-high prices. Even more impressive, a few nearly perfect specimens have sold for nearly $40,000. The last factor is market demand. As time passes, coins from the 1970s are becoming increasingly collectible. People who grew up during that decade now have the means and nostalgia to collect coins from their youth. This growing interest pushes prices even higher. Section 3. How to identify a valuable 1977 penny. Now let's talk about how you can identify if your 1977 penny is worth a fortune. First, carefully inspect the coin for any mint errors. Look for doubling, especially on the date or the word liberty. This could indicate a double die error, which collectors absolutely love. Second, check the coin's overall condition. Coins that have never been used in circulation and still have their original mint luster are the ones that fetch top dollar. You might need a magnifying glass or even a jeweler's loupe to see the finer details. Third, examine where it was minted. 1977 pennies could have been minted in Philadelphia with no mint mark, in Denver with a small d under the date, or in San Francisco for proof coins which will have an S. While most valuable coins come from the Philadelphia Mint, unique specimens from all mints can command high prices depending on their quality and errors. Finally, consider getting the coin professionally graded. Sending it to a reputable grading service could confirm its quality and dramatically increase its value at auction or sale. Section 4, Market Value and Real Sales. Let's get into the numbers. According to recent market data, an ordinary 1977 Lincoln penny in circulated condition is worth about 1 cent to 5 cents. However, when you move into uncirculated territory, especially those coins graded MS-65 or better, the value jumps dramatically to $20, $100, or even $500. Now, for the best part. Some perfect condition 1977 Lincoln pennies with special errors have sold for astounding figures. One famous sale recorded a 1977 penny selling for an unbelievable $39,444 at auction. That is nearly $40,000 for a penny that originally cost just 1 cent to produce. Can you imagine finding a $40,000 penny in your change? The coin market is always evolving, but rare pennies, especially in flawless condition, continue to be in high demand. And as collectors seek to complete their Lincoln Memorial sets, prices for coins like the 1977 penny will likely continue to rise. Section 5, Tips for Coin Collectors and Treasure Hunters. So, what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1977 Lincoln penny? First, handle the coin very carefully. Always hold it by the edges to avoid damaging the surface. Second, store it properly. Use soft coin flips or hard plastic holders designed for coins. Keep it away from moisture, heat, and direct sunlight. Third, get it evaluated by a professional coin dealer or grading service. Do not rush to sell it until you know exactly what you have. Fourth, stay educated. Follow coin auctions, join collector groups, and keep learning. Knowledge is power and could help you spot another rare coin in the future. Finally, have patience. The coin collecting world rewards those who are persistent and willing to dig through those old jars, flea markets, and estate sales to find hidden gems. So there you have it. The 1977 Lincoln Penny USA Liberty coin is not just a small piece of copper. It is a piece of American history, a tribute to one of the greatest presidents, and potentially, a key to a small fortune. Whether it is worth a few cents or nearly $40,000, every 1977 penny has a story to tell. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more amazing stories about rare coins and hidden treasures, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. Have you ever found a rare penny or any coin worth a lot of money? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your treasure hunting stories. If you love coins, collectibles, and learning how everyday pocket change could make you rich, then you are definitely in the right place. Today, we are diving into the fascinating story of the 2002 Lincoln penny from the United States of America, the iconic Liberty coin that could surprisingly be worth up to $887,580 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. One single penny could potentially turn into a small fortune, and today I am going to tell you everything you need to know about its history, value, and why collectors are willing to pay a massive amount of money for it. So grab your favorite drink, sit back, and let's embark on this incredible journey into the world of rare coins. History of the 2002 Lincoln penny. First, let's talk about history. The 2002 Lincoln penny continues the proud tradition of honoring President Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Lincoln first appeared on the cent in 1909, to celebrate the 100th anniversary of his birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's portrait became the first real person ever to appear on an American coin. Before that, US coins only featured symbols like Lady Liberty or eagles. Fast forward to 2002, and the familiar design still dominated the American 1-cent piece. On the obverse side, we have Lincoln's bust facing right with the bold inscription Liberty on the left and the mint year 2002 stamped proudly under it. Above Lincoln's head is the famous motto "In God We Trust," a phrase that reminds us of America's strong spirit and resilience. On the reverse side, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of freedom, equality, and unity, beautifully rendered by designer Frank Gasparo. The 2002 Lincoln penny is part of the so-called Lincoln Memorial cents, minted between 1959 and 2008 before the coin transitioned to the Lincoln bicentennial designs in 2009. But among all those pennies minted over decades, the 2002 Lincoln cent holds a special place in collectors' hearts and pockets. Mint locations and production. In 2002, the Lincoln penny was produced at two main mints, the Philadelphia Mint, which left no mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which marked its coins with a small d below the date. Hundreds of millions of pennies were struck that year, but what makes some of them extremely valuable is condition, rarity, and errors, and that is where it gets very exciting. Why some 2002 pennies are worth a fortune. Now, let's get to the big question: why would a tiny penny from 2002 ever be worth $8.87, $5.80? There are several key reasons. First, errors. Coins with mint errors are extremely desirable to collectors. Some 2002 pennies were struck off-center, had double die errors where the images or letters looked doubled, or were made on the wrong planchet. These mistakes happen rarely, and when they do, they create unique coins that serious collectors chase after with big money. Second, high-grade condition. Most coins you see in circulation are scratched, worn, and dinged up from years of use, but if you happen to find a 2002 Lincoln penny in pristine, mint state condition, especially graded MS-68 or MS-69 by companies like PCGS or NGC, its value skyrockets. Some 2002 Lincoln pennies in superb gem condition with absolutely stunning luster and no marks have sold for over $8,000 individually. Add in a rare error or unique striking feature, and suddenly, that small cent could be worth almost $887,580, especially if a fierce bidding war breaks out among top collectors. What to look for in your 2002 penny? If you are wondering whether you have one of these jackpot coins in your change jar, here's what to check for. Mint mark. Check if your penny has a D for Denver or no mint mark for Philadelphia. Both can be valuable. Condition. The shinier and more perfect it looks, the better. Errors. Look for doubling in the letters or Lincoln's profile, off-center strikes, wrong metal planchet, or any unusual features. Color. Brilliant red-colored pennies, known as red in grading terms, are often worth the most. That if you find any of these characteristics, it could be time to get your penny professionally graded, because you might be sitting on a small fortune. Market trends and demand. The market for rare coins, especially Lincoln pennies, has been exploding in recent years. Collectors and investors worldwide are looking to diversify their portfolios, and rare coins offer a tangible piece of history that can appreciate significantly in value over time. Auction houses are seeing record-setting sales, and even online marketplaces like eBay feature 2002 Lincoln pennies listed for hundreds and thousands of dollars, depending on their grade and rarity. Imagine the thrill of finding a simple penny and learning it could pay for a brand new car, a home renovation, or even a life-changing investment. Real-life examples. To give you an idea, a 2002 Lincoln penny with a double die error in pristine condition once sold at auction $4,750. Another rare off-metal strike was snapped up by a private collector for over $15,000. And when rare error types and high mint state grades combine, values can truly soar to that jaw-dropping figure of nearly $887, $580. Tips for collectors: if you are serious about finding or investing in valuable 2002 pennies, here are some tips. Always handle coins by the edges and wear gloves to avoid adding fingerprints or oils. Store coins in acid-free holders or professional coin slabs. Invest in a good magnifying glass or coin microscope to spot tiny errors. Keep an eye on auction sites and coin dealer lists to track market prices. Get your coins graded by reputable services like PCGS, NGC, or ANAX if you think you have something special. Conclusion: call to action. And there you have it, the incredible story of the 2002 Lincoln penny, a little piece of American history that could be worth a huge fortune if you are lucky enough to find the right one. so next time you get change at the store or dig through an old coin jar, make sure to keep your eyes peeled. Your ordinary-looking penny might just turn out to be your golden ticket to a life-changing payday. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video packed with valuable information. Drop a comment below if you have a 2002 penny in your collection or if you have ever found a rare coin. That I would love to hear your stories. Everyone. Today, we are diving deep into a coin that might be sitting unnoticed in your collection, in your piggy bank, or even in your loose change jar. I am talking about the 2003 Lincoln penny from the United States of America. This humble 1-cent coin, featuring the iconic Liberty inscription and the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, could surprisingly be worth a staggering $557.34 or even more in the right market conditions. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, potentially worth hundreds of dollars, so buckle up, because today we are going on a fascinating journey through history, rarity, minting details, collector's secrets, and real market values that could make you look at your pocket change with a whole new set of eyes. First, let's set the stage. The Lincoln penny has been a cornerstone of American currency since 1909, when it was first introduced to celebrate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed originally by Victor David Brenner, it was the first regular-issue American coin to feature a real person. This was groundbreaking at the time and set the tone for the century of coin design that followed. Fast forward to 2003, the United States Mint in Denver produced the 2003 Lincoln cents as part of the long-standing Lincoln Memorial Reverse Series. From 1959 to 2008, the back of the penny depicted the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., designed by Frank Gasparro. By 2003, this design had already become iconic, recognized by millions around the world. Although billions of Lincoln pennies were minted throughout the years, specific years and mint marks, like the 2003 sometimes hide unexpected treasures. Errors, rare variations, condition, and demand from collectors can send their values skyrocketing. Now, let us look closer at the details. The 2003 Lincoln penny was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small d mint mark below the date on the obverse side of the coin. It is made primarily of copper-plated zinc, weighing about 2.5 grams. On the obverse, you see Abraham Lincoln facing right, the word Liberty inscribed to his left, and the year 2003 to the right. Above his head reads the proud motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that has been present on American coinage for over a century. On the reverse, you see the Lincoln Memorial, a majestic monument honoring the 16th President of the United States. Look closely with a magnifying glass, and you can even see a tiny depiction of the statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. Such intricate detail on such a small coin shows the incredible artistry of American mint engravers. You might be wondering, if millions were made, why would one be worth hundreds of dollars? Excellent question. The answer lies in a combination of factors: coin condition, mint errors, and collector demand. First and foremost, condition is king in the world of coin collecting. Coins that have never been circulated, known as mint state or MS coins, are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A 2003 penny graded MS 67 or higher can be incredibly rare. Even minor marks, scratches, or discolorations can significantly lower the value. But a pristine, flawless 2003 penny can bring eye-watering prices at auction. Secondly, errors. Some 2003 pennies were struck with fascinating errors like off-center strikes, double dies, and even missing elements. A double die error, for instance, where the images on the coin appear doubled, is a highly sought-after error type among collectors and can dramatically boost the coin's value. Imagine finding a 2003 penny with a strong double die on the Liberty inscription or the date. Collectors could be willing to pay hundreds, if not thousands, for it. Finally, there is the factor of demand. Certain years become popular because they are key dates needed to complete sets. Some collectors hunt obsessively for high-grade examples of coins from the early 2000s to fill gaps in their Lincoln Memorial Series collections. Now, let's talk real numbers. Ordinary 2003 Lincoln pennies found in circulation today are usually worth just their face value, 1 cent. However, coins that are in pristine mint state condition, graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can sell for big money. For example, auction records show that a 2003 D Lincoln cent graded MS-69 red, nearly a perfect coin, has fetched astonishing prices over $550, reaching even as high as $557.34 in special auctions where multiple collectors fiercely competed. Yes, over $500 for a single penny, and remember, that number could be even higher in the future as high-grade examples become scarcer due to handling, environmental damage, and loss over time. So, how can you find your fortune? It's simple but requires patience and a sharp eye. First, check your pocket change. Believe it or not, amazing coins are still found in everyday circulation. Focus on 2003 pennies with the D mint mark and look for ones that seem unusually shiny or pristine. Second, invest in a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Examine the coins closely for doubling, die cracks, or other striking errors that could make your penny rare. Third, if you find a promising candidate, consider sending it to a professional grading service. A certified grade dramatically increases the value and makes it much easier to sell if you decide to cash in. Conclusion, the 2003 D Lincoln penny is not just a common piece of small change. It is a symbol of hidden potential, an example of how sometimes the smallest things in life can bring the biggest surprises. Imagine finding a penny worth over $550 just sitting in a jar or tucked away in a drawer. It is possible. It happens. And it could happen to you. Never underestimate the power of knowledge and a keen eye. Every great treasure hunter starts with curiosity and the belief that valuable things are hidden in plain sight. So keep checking your coins. Keep learning. Because one day, you might just find a 2003 D Lincoln penny that changes your life. If you found this video helpful and exciting, do not forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more awesome coin videos, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your amazing coin finds with us in the comments below. Have you ever found a valuable penny? Tell us your story. Until next time, happy hunting, and remember, every coin tells a story, and some tell stories worth a fortune.